IPMNation.com. It's Gigo.
Hi, this is Dan Randlett, and you're listening to IPMNation.com.
Humanimal Labs, working to bring the finest human-animal hybrids to your dinner plate. Genetically engineered to suit your palate and soothe your soul. Sick of normal flesh cuisine that leaves you with a feeling of guilt? Well, worry no more. Feast on our flesh without remorse. Our hybrids are genetically engineered with the ability to tell you to eat them, and will recommend the tastiest parts. And for our Chinese and Asian customers, we have our new equine line. Let's hear from one of our humanimals now, affectionately named Mr. Ed. Well, Bob, I just wanted to say, I've been hitting the track pretty heavy, and can recommend my hindquarters to be supple and tasty delicious. Thank you, Mr. Ed. There you have it, right from the horse's mouth. Humanimal Laboratories, providers of the meat that says, eat me.
Crema. Crema.
You are receiving a remote transmission from IPMNation.com. Stay tuned for further instructions. You are receiving a remote transmission from IPMNation.com. Stay tuned for further instructions.
All right, welcome everyone to Remote Transmission here on IPMNation.com. Matt Connerton back with you this week, sitting here with Dan Randlett. How are you, Dan?
Doing wonderful, just sweating up a storm.
It is hot in here. We're, of course, coming to you again from Styling Souls at 832 Elm Street, downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. And Remote Transmission tonight, our guest is DZ the Gift, hip-hop artist, impresario. I was having trouble.
Impresario?
I have trouble with that word. And he's the owner of, what the hell's the name of his label? Hustle Records?
Hustle Records? Well, he does the Hustle Report, right?
He does the Hustle Report. That's his radio show. Yeah. Oh, Massive Hustle. That's his record label.
All right.
So, very talented gentleman. You can hear a lot of his music here on IPMNation.com. You can download some of his tunes. We're going to be premiering a new song tonight that he sent to me. He was actually supposed to send me 2 songs, but he only sent me 1. So, one of the 2 songs that we're going to play tonight is my personal favorite of his. But we'll get to all that in a minute. He should be calling in.
Now, you reminded him, right? It's not going to be like last week.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So he will be calling in. We will have a guest most of the show.
He will be calling in shortly. And we have the next few weeks of guests booked for Remote Transmission, which, of course, comes to you live every Tuesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time from Styling Souls here. Next week, let's see, who do we have? Next week is Alan Samergian. Or Submergian, I got to find out how to pronounce his name. Mm-hmm. He's a singer-songwriter from New York City who will be joining us by phone. The following week, which will be, so that'll be June 1st. On June 8th, we have Orion, Danny Dragon, and Steve the Drummer from Project Hybrid will be our guests. And they're going to be calling in, but I'm hoping to actually get them to come up. That'd be even better. And then on June 15th, we have Michael Halpley Pierce from Chemical Distance will be joining us.
Wow.
And I also want to tell you too, Dan, this afternoon I had the pleasure of sitting down and recording an episode of the show, which will be a podcast-only downloadable episode. But I interviewed a political figure, a gentleman by the name of Bob Guida, who is running for second I can't talk tonight. Second Congressional District here in New Hampshire. So he is running for the U.S. House of Representatives.
Very exciting.
And he is challenging New Hampshire residents who follow politics at all are probably familiar with Charlie Bass, who used to be a Republican representative from New Hampshire. He is actually challenging Charlie Bass for the nomination. The primary is on September 14th, and then the winner of that, of course, goes on to challenge whoever the Democratic opponent is for that seat.
Now, that's not going to be in the regular rotation. That's only going to be a downloadable only?
That will be a download. It will be available because we didn't do it live.
Yeah.
We did that this afternoon. It was a great discussion. It ended up being about an hour show. And it was my first time really interviewing a political figure here on Remote Transmission. Not my first time interviewing any kind of political figure on IPMNation.com. You know, we've had politicians on Norm and Friends, which is the new name of Norm's Psychic World.
Yes.
And of course, I did interview a gentleman from the Obama campaign back in 2008, an interview that never ran because they asked me not to run it, and
You were not impressed with it anyway.
I
so
kept my word, and it kind of sucked anyway. There was really nothing in there worth running. It was a guy named Mitchell Kent who was a policy advisor for the New Hampshire campaign, for the New Hampshire Obama campaign, who had nothing substantive to say anyway. Just a lot of platitudes, and, you know, please don't anyone take this as an attack on Obama. I'm just saying that the guy who worked for his campaign did not impress me. So.
And this isn't really a political forum show, technically, tonight, because we're going to be talking to musicians. And
Right. Absolutely. But, you know, we're certainly open to talking to politicians.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, by all means.
You know, it is an election year, 2010. We have the midterm elections. But, of course, once DZ calls in, we'll be talking to him and playing some tunes.
And asking him some questions.
That's right. And, Dan, do you want to talk about your new show while we have some time?
About the verbal ejaculation show?
Yes.
That show that we're going to be doing live on Thursday nights?
Yes.
Here at Styling Souls. Feel free of stopping on in if you're in the Manchester area. It's basically it's another one of those open concept, just kind of letting steam off type of venting type of show, where we're going to have just different assorted topics. It's going to be a lot better than what Stephen James Blake puts out there on the air, because it's not going to be. It's basically just going to be a good way of kind of venting on what's really grinding our gears or what's really pissing us off for the week. And it's not just political. It's not just, I mean, it's going to be just any little thing that sets us off. And of course, I'll have my co-host Christopher Rose, or Chris Rose, who's going to be co-hosting it with me, and we will be doing it live on Thursday nights at 11 o'clock.
Yes.
And we're going to have the phone lines open so people can call in and kind of vent with us, or if they have topics that they really are bothered by, and it's going to be done it's all in fun. It's going to be a humorous show, as well as we hope to just kind of get the everyman's opinion of what's going on in the world today.
Yes.
So it's going to be it'll be an interesting new concept to kind of just kind of let off some steam, and we already know pretty much what we're going to talk about, and it's going to be kind of music focused, because we're going to talk about really horrible opening bands.
Yes.
It's going to be one of the things, because we recently went to a show that had a really horrible opening band, and I've been to a bunch of other shows where I noticed the music industry is getting kind of, I don't know, they're staying cheap, so they're hiring a lot of really bad bar bands or Chinese food restaurant bands, those type of people, and it's just getting annoying. And of course, one of our favorite bands is kind of doing the same thing this year with their new tour. I don't know if you were aware of that.
No.
Kiss announced a North American tour again, and they're doing some promotion with Guitar Center, where they're going to have local bands try out to be the opening act on each one of their cities, like 22 stops on their tour.
Really?
Yep. So that could be a chance for somebody like Chemical Distance, or maybe First Shove, or one of the bands that you're in. Maybe you can audition and be opening for Kiss.
We're going to be having a meeting soon, actually, myself and the gentleman from First Shove.
Oh, there you go.
So we're going to get
You may
that
be coming back from your hiatus.
We're going to get that back on the road, absolutely. So Kiss is doing this promotion with Guitar Center.
Yeah.
Do you know, I mean, are they going to have at least one opener that tours with them?
They haven't announced anything about any other
kidding.
national act. They're saying that 22 stops, they're going to have local artists who win the Guitar Center tryouts for 22 stops. I think they're announcing like either 28 or 30 shows right now, but 22 of them, they're doing this tie-in where you can go to Guitar Center and you can actually submit. They're going to do a live. They're actually going to be on Ustream on the 1st.
Yeah.
Kiss will be on Ustream doing a live.
Oh, no kidding.
Live interview call-in that you can talk to them.
Yeah.
Through Facebook, I think, and all that is what they're tying it in through. But they're going to be making that announcement talking about the Guitar Center promotion. But I think it's kind of, it's a way to save money because you're not paying out big money to big name opening acts. But it'll be interesting to see if it actually brings people out to see the shows, because if you don't have another strong opening act or something to kind of justify ticket prices, but we don't know how much they're going to be charging for their tickets.
Right.
Because that's always my big complaint. If you go out and you spend like an outrageous amount of money for a ticket, sometimes you want a good opening act.
Oh, of course.
To kind of get you in the mood. And
Absolutely. Anything new on Bret Michaels?
no, nothing I've heard. I mean, he won Celebrity Apprentice.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
No kidding.
Yeah, he won. He was on that show live,
Yeah.
and he got really emotional on the show, and he wasn't supposed to be there. The doctors told him not to be there.
Right.
Donald Trump even said, why are you here? People are out there spouting a lot of stuff saying he only won it because of sympathy.
Well, that's what I was going to ask
Yeah.
you. In your, as objective as you can be, and I know he's one of your heroes.
Yeah.
Do you think he deserved to win, or was it?
Being a follower of the show, he was one of the hardest working guys on the show, even though he
Yeah.
was flaky and flighty. But because, and you and I have met him and spent time with
Yes.
him, talking to him and
Yes.
everything, he is one of the sweetest, most genuinely decent persons I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
He is the nicest, sweetest guy. And he shows that on the show. He never threw anybody under a bus.
Yeah.
He took blame for everything.
Really?
Still never got fired. And there was so many times that he should have gotten fired.
Yeah.
But Trump kept him because he saw the heart he had. He saw
Yeah.
how hardworking he was. He's very creative. And I think, again, trying to be not biased, I thought he deserved to win. I don't think he won because of sympathy.
Yeah.
I think it was just, it showed his character and it showed how much heart he has for showing up on the show.
Right.
Because he wasn't, and he was doing it for charity. He was doing it for the diabetes, the American Diabetes Association. So he was there for his charity to make the money for his charity.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he was doing it so he can get exposure. He didn't really need the exposure.
Right.
And it wasn't because he has that reality show. Because the reality show kind of, I think the Rock of Love kind of made him back to being in the spotlight.
Sure.
But I don't think Celebrity Apprentice was really doing that with him to that extent where he would, jeopardize his health condition
Right.
to be on the show. So I think he did deserve to win, in all honesty, compared to the other celebrities that were on the show.
Yeah.
Although his competition, Holly Robinson Pete, she was a fantastic, but she was cutthroat.
Yeah.
So there was two different, you had the heart and you had the cutthroat type of people.
Yeah.
And when it came down to the end, Donald Trump decided to pick Bret because I think of the heart and the fact that his work ethic. The only thing that sucked about him, he was always late. Because
Oh, really?
he was on Rockstar Time. So he was always
Oh.
he was always late when he'd show up to things, but when he did show up, he worked really hard.
Yeah.
And here we are, 15 minutes in the show, and no DZ. What's going on?
Which is really surprising because DZ is usually early for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, DZ's the kind of guy, whenever I've done any kind of event with him, he's, I usually try to show up early for
Yeah.
events, and he's there before I am.
Well, maybe. I know G Girl is expecting. Maybe that could have happened tonight.
That
You never
could
know.
be.
Because I was even mentioning that before I came over to do the show. I was like, it'd be great radio if she has the baby on the show.
Yes. I'm going to text him right now. And just,
So maybe that could have happened. That you never know.
yeah.
But it's ironic that it's two shows in a row now that they must be at the Stephen James Blake School of Punctuality.
2 shows in a row. Who'd we have last week?
We had Chet, the guy from Captain.
That was last week?
That was last week.
Wasn't that the week before?
No, that was last week.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was last week.
Okay,
The week
yeah.
before was
Wow, it doesn't seem like it was a week ago. It seems like it was longer for
No.
some reason.
no. Well, it's because it's that old timey music.
Yes.
That's why it seems so long. Yeah, he was last week, and the week before was Atomic Blue the week before? I think.
Are you sure Atomic Blue wasn't last week? And
No,
Rob
Atomic
the
Blue
week
was
before?
the first show I was on, because you had Otto the first show, which I
Oh,
wasn't here
yeah.
for. Then Atomic Blue
Oh, okay.
was on the first one I did with you live.
Yeah.
And then, this is what episode is this of the live version? This is episode 4, right?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, so there we go.
This is off topic, Dan, but while we're waiting for DZ, I'm really curious to ask you, did you watch The Lost? I know you
Yes.
had DVR'd it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
now, as you know, just to clarify for the listeners, I've seen the show maybe twice in its entire run. Didn't follow it, didn't care about it, but I have to admit, because so many people around me were caught up in it, and the entire country really was
You
caught
wanted to
up
see
in
what
it,
it- what
I
was
was curious how they ended it. I'm not going to actually go and watch it,
No.
but I was curious. How did you feel about the ending? Because I've read online too. Everybody's kind of all over the place about it.
Well, it kind of when I watched the show starting, when it first started, I had that theory that they were in limbo. The
Right.
island was limbo, and
Some
that they
sort
were
of purgatory.
that it was like a purgatory, that they were waiting to either go to heaven and hell.
Yeah.
And I told everybody that theory, and they were like, no, because the producers and the writers have said that's not the case, that's not the
Right.
case, blah, 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 blah. But to end it the way they did, it kind of made it almost seem true. Like, everybody's dead at the end.
Right.
It was like, but it was like, it didn't really, to me, I'm like, okay, I looked at it as, maybe they all died in the plane crash, and that they were dead the whole time. But they don't really explain it. They don't
Yeah.
really tell you that's what it was. You have to kind of think for yourself.
Right.
But to have them in this church at the end, and the main character, Jack, there, sees his dead father, and his dead father, he's like, well, Dad, you're dead, and he's like, you shouldn't be standing here, or he says something about, or Dad, you're supposed to be dead, and he's like, well, you're dead, basically, is what he
Right,
said to him.
right.
And it's like, and everybody's here because you decided in your head that when you die, you're going to have all your friends and family around you, and you made up this fictitious church, and you're all like meeting, and the way they're explaining it is some people were dead before you died, and some people are dead after you died, but you're all meeting in this like church, and it was like, I thought that was a lame way to end it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was a big disappointment, because it kind of went to the theory I had back when it started, thinking,
Right.
okay, well, maybe it was purgatory. So there was a lot of unfinished answers. And I thought it was just kind of a silly way to end it. And what I also thought was funny is my co-host for Verbal Ejaculation there, Chris, and I were talking, because he's a big fan of the show. And we were talking about it. Jimmy Kimmel had 3 endings. I don't know if you've seen those, but he had
No.
3 endings after. And we were joking on Steve's show about having one of the characters wake up with Bob Newhart.
Oh.
Kimmel did that.
Oh, no kidding.
As a lost ending.
Oh.
They did that, and they did the Sopranos ending where it fades
Really?
to black. They're in a diner and it fades to black and plays Journey.
Yeah.
Like, they did all the different types
Oh,
of
really?
and because they made an announcement during the show that if you tuned into Kimmel, you would see the 3 alternate endings.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
Kimmel did them all, and I just thought it was funny because we were joking about the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And Kimmel ended up doing it. So I'll have to watch those. I haven't seen them yet. They're online right now. But I just, but yeah, the other thing that disappointed me, 24 ended yesterday.
Oh, did it?
The series finale, yeah.
How come there was no hype around that? I haven't heard anybody talking about
Because
that.
24 did horrible in ratings this year. That's
Did
why
they?
they can't. But they're going the movie route or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
But it just. I've been a follower of 24, and 24 is actually my favorite show. It was like
Yeah.
ever since it came on, it was one of my all-time favorite shows because I loved the show.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed with that ending, the series finale for that ending, because that just kind of had like a really silly ending.
Yeah.
Because it does set up for a movie, because Kiefer was talking about doing a movie. Fox decided to cancel it this year because ratings weren't doing too well.
Yeah.
And they are already hyping a movie beforehand, saying they're probably going to have a movie theatrical version of 24. I think they'll call it like 120 minutes or something. You know what I mean? They'll because everything's in real time, and
Yeah.
there's been movies that have been real time movies, but that one just ended kind of silly, where he goes on this killing rampage this year because the government is so corrupt, the president's corrupt, everybody's corrupt, so he's off just assassinating people left and right, and is about ready to kill the president of Russia, and he's like, it ends up where the president saves the day for him and tells him he has to run and leave the country, so this like perfect American and the Jack Bauer character has to flee the country. Now
Right.
they did that a couple seasons ago where he had to leave, and they made a TV movie where it was like him, so they did the same damn thing, and I was like, really? That's how you're going to end it? I would have rather have them killed him off.
Yeah.
Just kill him off or do something. Like, it was just a really silly way where he's like, he's got to leave the country, flee the country, because the Russians are going to be hunting him, the Americans are going to be hunting him, everybody's out to kill him,
Yeah.
and he's telling Chloe, who's the one that pretty much saved his life throughout the series, and he even makes a speech to her, like, I never realized you'd be the one to save me, because she was this weak computer tech girl that was in the series the whole time.
Yeah.
And he's telling her to protect his daughter and granddaughter and keep them safe because they're going to go after them. And that's how it ends, with
Really?
him just fleeing the country. And it's like, okay, so you set up a movie.
Yeah.
But it's like, it was the same ending they had for a season finale. It wasn't really a good series finale.
Yeah.
And that was kind of disappointing. So I've been disappointed with series finales. For Lost, I was disappointed. I mean, it was. I think it Lost a little better than the 24 ending, but still, I don't know. I just I hate seeing that with shows.
Yeah.
It just it's almost like writers just run out of like really cool concepts or run out of something to really like go out with a bang. And the thing that I loved about 24 was nobody was ever safe.
Right.
When you watch that first season of 24, main characters were getting killed.
Yeah.
And it was like you didn't see that in TV.
Yeah.
And that's what disappointed me at this finale, because it's like, well, just kill the character off, you know?
Right.
do something outrageous.
Well, they had to keep him alive for the movie.
Well, if they're going to do the movies, but you know, who's to say the movie's even going to be successful?
Right.
You know, who's going to go see? Because a lot of
Oh,
TV show
it will be.
movies, though, don't do that well. Especially, I mean, in this case, it's not going to be on TV.
Right.
But I mean, you know, like the X-Files, they had a movie while they were still on TV, and then they made another movie which bombed. The second
Well,
movie.
the first movie did well. But
First movie did well because
but
it
the
was
second
during
movie,
it was during the TV
they
run.
jumped the
Yeah,
shark.
yeah. The second
Yeah.
movie was horrendous.
That's what I heard.
Second
yeah.
movie was
And
just
no
a
one-
waste. I mean, I was a
one
big
saw
fan
it.
of that show. I was a diehard fan of that show, and I went to see that movie, and I wanted to kill myself after watching that movie because it was like, really?
Yeah. Did The Sopranos ending upset you, or did you care? I've never really heard you talk about.
I followed The Sopranos
Oh, you
as
did?
well.
Okay.
That
I think it's the greatest show in the history of
that show was
television.
fantastic, but it was just that ending as well. It was kind of like it leaves a lot of unanswered. But they had movie in mind.
Right.
Because they were talking about making a Sopranos movie.
Well, David Chase has denied that there's ever been
Really?
any plans.
He's
to do
denied it, but like
Yeah.
I think HBO were the ones that were saying that they wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And I think was it Time Warner Brothers that owns HBO. I think
I'm
it was
not
Warner
sure.
Brothers that was hyping up doing a movie. But I mean, I don't know. That was kind of a lame ending too, because again, it leaves a lot of open-ended questions.
Yeah.
You know, does he get whacked? Does he die? Like, you know, is there
Yeah.
like what really happens? But I think that was the whole shock and awe value of that ending, though, because you really don't know
Right.
what the outcome is, and it makes people think, and it made headlines, and it made people go out and watch it. It made people talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're trying to achieve with Lost. Maybe by doing, because you're saying you're seeing all this stuff on the internet, buzzes and stuff about the series finale of Lost, where people are either upset or happy by it.
Right.
But I think it was more of a cop-out ending, that ending. But the Sopranos ending, yeah, I mean, it was okay, but it was just, again, I didn't think it was the way to end the show. It was one of those, I think it could have ended better.
Right.
Same attitude. I think they should have just killed off more people in the end of the show. Just assassinate them. That's the best way to get rid of main characters. Get rid of, clean house.
Yeah.
But, I'm trying to think what other shows are ending that, I think that's it for my, for the only other show I'm obsessed with had a horrible season finale, and that was Smallville. But
Oh, really?
Yeah, that one just left that left a cliffhanger.
Season finale? That's still on?
Yeah.
Wow. How
Yeah.
long has that been on? That's been on a long time now, hasn't
Is
it?
it 8 years now?
Wow.
Is it the 8th season or 9th season?
I wouldn't
It's been
have-
on.
Wouldn't have expected that to even last.
And they've moved it to so many different nights.
Really? That
Like it
usually-
finally ended up being this year. It was on Friday nights.
That usually kills a show.
So most people,
Surprised.
most people aren't watching TV on Friday nights, and
Yeah.
they moved it to Friday nights, and it had, and they started integrating more of the DC comic characters and stuff. Like they had the Justice League and stuff in it this year, and they were doing but I mean they, I like it because of the being a comic book fan and being a fan of Superman and stuff like that. I've always liked the spin that Smallville had on Superman because
Sure.
it's a different.
I've never seen the show.
It's a different variation, so it's not. And the season finale, he opens up a box and you see the reflection in his eyes of the box, and it's the actual costume, the real blue
Oh,
and red
really?
costume. Yeah, because he hasn't worn the costume. The thing I always liked about Smallville is because he's the young Clark Kent, growing up, he always wore like blue and red.
Yeah.
Like a red jacket and a blue
Oh,
T-shirt
really?
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that was always kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then when he was fighting crime in the last couple of years, they had him all in black,
Yeah.
almost like a Batman. But he was running around all in black. So you do see the reflection of the Superman costume in the season finale, and it ended with is he dead? Because it was one of those things where it has a to be continued, and that's how they ended that. So
right.
they'll probably do one season. And they'll probably cancel it after the next season if they do bring it back.
Well, for anyone who's just joining us, our guest tonight is DZ the Gift, and we don't know where he is.
No.
He is not called into the show. I'm a little concerned because he's actually very, very punctual. He's usually early for stuff, and we communicated several times today. However, as Dan and I were speculating earlier, his girlfriend and manager, G-Girl, is expecting any day now.
Yeah.
So perhaps G-Girl has gone into labor, and obviously DZ is, if that is the case, DZ is occupied. And
Yeah, we would be the least of it, man.
cannot get to the phone, which is perfectly understandable. It's 11:25, so we'll give him a few more minutes, and if he doesn't, I did text him and said, where are you, and he has not responded.
What,
so.
do you want to play a track? One of his songs?
Yeah, let's go ahead and play a track. We're going to play, there's a song he sent me that he wanted to premiere on IPMNation.com called Grind Cuz, C-U-Z. So let's play that right now. That's a good idea, Dan. So this is Grind Cuz from DZ The Gift here on Remote Transmission on IPMNation.com. Hang on, everybody. Got a little problem here. Bear with me.
Did everybody get a little welcome to IPM blast?
I think so, yeah.
That was not the start of Grind.
All right, sorry about that, everybody. Here it is. No, this is Grindcast from DZ The Gift. Let's try this again.
Welcome, just don't motherfucking know. My stash ain't at my house, it's at Bear's house. He live in the bird with the bulldogs by the lighthouse. Get it right, cuz, well connected. I do this shit for the hustlers, you will respect it. Book bag dollar. I'm back to stack more cake, make people change the way they look at dollar. Fuck a stylist, I'm in the warehouse selling solar scholars. Get on your grizz and get yours, cause I know what it's like to be piss poor. Man, shit's raw, I'm back on my get paid shit. Higher wage shit, y'all lying, y'all ain't this. Y'all just heard me in the club in rotation. I swear on everything I love, y'all just emulating. This is easy, I'm just ventilating. Y'all been waiting, so let me give y'all more of this. So jump in a ride, let's blow this. DZ straight like the lizards, my life prisoners. I move from here to there, collab and get cash in millions. Let's do it. Grind, cuz grind, with money on your mind, keep a dollar in your pocket, telling hating niggas stop it. Grind, cuz grind, with money on your mind, keep a dollar in your pocket.
Hey, DZ.
Wow.
Hey, what's up,
Hey, how
man?
you doing? What's up?
Not much. We've been waiting for you. Everything all right?
Honestly, I didn't even know what time it was. I didn't have no clock. I didn't have anything. I just been running around like a crazy man with like a chicken with my head cut off for a second. And then someone came outside and was like, "Oh, you know it's 11:30." I was like, "It's 11:30? What have I been doing?" So I don't know what I've been doing. But how you doing?
Good, good. Dan is sitting here with me.
Hey DZ, how's it going?
What's up, Dan? How you doing?
What is happening? We were just playing your new track, and right when you called, so.
I know. I apologize.
It's okay.
You know, I was eating chicken, steak, all kinds of crazy stuff, and I was talking to a couple of my partners and stuff like that, and I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, if you want your music played on IPM Nation, blah blah blah." We was actually talking about the site just before I got somebody said it's 11:30 call. I was like, "Oh shit, what am I gonna do now?" And I was like, "Oh, I mean, and called y'all. I don't got no clock. This is my clock, and I ain't have my phone, so."
Well,
you know how that works.
At least you were talking about the station, though. That kind of makes it okay in my mind.
You know, exactly. See, that's how it works out. You know, I'm always working as a team, whatever I do. I don't really just sit there and talk about myself because I don't feel like I'm a star, and I don't really care about being a star. But as a team, we can all be stars. You know, she'll love and I hate. You know how it works.
Of course.
We were actually speculating that maybe G-Girl had gone into labor.
Oh, no, none of that.
We were expecting cigars and everything.
None of that. Not that I know, and I haven't got a call like, oh, there's a baby coming, so, nah.
One of our listeners logged on and said childbirth is never an excuse.
Oh, man. Well, I'm sorry. There's no baby.
It's all good.
There's no baby. I'm just going, I don't know.
She's got a couple more weeks, right? Till,
I'm not even exactly sure. I just know I got a bigger bill to pay when this baby drops, so I'm just like, hey, life will continue, you know? I gotta do what I gotta do.
Absolutely. Is this your second child?
No, first.
Oh, this is your first. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And trust me, I don't feel like I have enough money. I haven't made enough money to cover all the bills I might have to pay.
Right.
So, you know, I was just trying to cover. Actually, when I was outside talking, I was trying to cover some other bills that I had to pay.
Right.
I got caught off guard. But I'm here. I'm with you.
Cool.
I apologize for being late. This is the first time that you can actually call DZ late, so this is the first time and it won't happen again because I should have put a clock on.
Well, that's what Matt was talking about, is you've always been very punctual, or if not, even before anybody else got somewhere, you're always there. So that's why we were all concerned.
Yeah, we knew you'd be here
You're
eventually.
Like DZ's head fell off. He died. Something happened bad. It happened bad. Nah, it wasn't that bad. I just didn't have a phone.
Yeah, no,
and I didn't know what time it was. 'Cause I'm outside. I was like, I've been cooking outside all day long, and I've just been cooking and eating like a fat ass. That's all I've been doing. So, just hanging out with my friends, like eating ribs and steak. That's all I've been doing.
I understand. I get distracted by food.
Yeah.
So does you've met Stephen James Blake, right?
Yeah, he was on
Yeah.
Stephen's show.
That's right.
Yeah, he would have had fun with us today. Like with a couple of my people, he would have like,
If we knew you had
wow.
a barbecue, we could have done the show from your place.
That's right. Yeah.
I like honestly, you would have been mad because the people I was with were eaters. Like you ever meet? Like I was with a couple of college kids today because I don't eat as much, and the people that were supposed to come kind of flaked out on me, so they came, and I called some other people, like some of my college friends. These kids eat. I mean, I watch them eat. I've never seen people eat 3 straight plates of the same thing. I can't eat 3 straight plates of the same thing and just be like, blah, 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 blah. They were like this, like scavengers, and it was like, I was loving it because I love to see people, like, you know what I'm saying, eat all that food.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
People that waste food, they can go to hell to me because people are hungry these days, so I'm sorry if you're listening and you waste food, then you can just go to hell. You got to eat all your food like grown people, or just like get it together. Because
well, you know,
I don't know.
A lot of college kids can't afford to eat as often as they'd like to because they're in school. So when they get the opportunity to shovel it down, you know, you gotta
maybe
take
because
those
I didn't
chances.
even get a chance to finish cooking all the food before they finished all the food. I was like, shit, what? Like I got hit with a tornado. I was like, damn. I wasn't prepared. I was like, damn, did I cook enough? But we had a ball. We was all out here talking about music, and I was talking about my mixtape that's coming out. A couple of my friends were talking about. You was on the line with Stage One. He was talking about his mixtape. You know, people come late to cookouts, so
Yeah.
I just been out here just going crazy.
Well, let's talk about what you've been up to because all the talk about food is making me hungry. So we.
He's like, I want a sandwich.
Yeah. Now do you have a full length disc coming out or what's on your?
Oh yeah, I have a full length disc coming out. It's called Living in My Head.
Uh-huh.
It's supposed to come out June 10th. Hopefully, if everything gets done, my side is physically done. I just gotta wait on other people. I'm not gonna say any names because you know I'll throw out a name, but he was supposed to come tonight and give me what I needed, but he didn't give me what I needed. So June 10th is the date. There's no excuses. If it's not out on June 10th, you can blame it on me.
Okay.
So it's called Living in My Head, Back Against the Wall. And the reason I named it that, because people always ask me, why'd you name it Living in My Head? These are the things musically that's living in my head, that's been living in my head. And I feel like my back's against the wall because, hey, life will continue. And I don't feel like I'm rich, so I can't sit there and say I'm not against the wall. I'm still against the wall because I got more money to get. I still have more things to provide for. I still have more things to do. So my back's still against the wall.
Right.
You know, until I get into a bigger place and become famous. And I don't want to be famous.
You don't
but
want to be famous.
I just want an extra check that I can pay for more stuff with. I don't really care about the fame. I don't care if anybody likes me. I don't care about all that. I do it for the people that like music and is having fun with me, you know?
Right,
just
right.
having fun. Like, show love, not hate. If you're not about that, then shove it. Like, shove it. That's how I look at it.
And I think that's what makes you a true artist in that way. That's one of the
Yeah.
reasons why I adore you, because that's been your attitude. Like, you really don't you don't really want to make it as like a celebrity. You just want to share your love, share your music.
Yeah.
And
I'm
that's
just showing
fantastic.
love to people like, oh, I love this. I love this, and I'm having fun, and we're just, you know, we're enjoying each other's company. It's more like about company and vibing. More about the vibe of everything. Like, a lot of people just came around me. We sat there and freestyle. We sat there and talked. We sat there and just talked about random stuff, and it was just about the vibe. It wasn't music playing. It's not about all that extra stuff. It's just about simple company and no negativity. So I'm trying to be positive in my life nowadays. You know, I'm getting older. I can't be negative all my life.
Is it a challenge to find other artists in your genre who feel that way that you do, or is it easy to connect with the right people?
Oh, it honestly is hard to connect with the exactly right people that's on the same exact drive, but you can find a rapper in any corner you walk to. If you walk out of wherever you're standing and you point to the person across the street and ask them if they do rap, they probably do.
Right.
But to find somebody in your lane is sitting there focused on the same things you're focused on and just trying to move positively and try to just like, yo, I understand we've all been through a lot of stuff. We've been through our struggles. We've been through our bad times. We've done bad things. There's some things we regret or we don't regret in our past, but let's make another chapter in our life. It's kind of hard. And to have people understand that is like, oh, God, I don't know what you're doing right now. You're like, you're living in a tornado. Why are you doing that right now? You know what I mean? But,
Right.
hey, if you don't want to do it with me, I do it by my damn self. I don't, you know what I'm saying? So, but, nah, I have a couple of people understanding my music flow, and, you know, we're working around some things.
Who are some of the people that you've been collaborating with?
Right now, on this mixtape, let me think. Let's see. There's Stu Cat, which you heard the song Shining, like Shining, Clean Like a Diamond. It was #1 on RPM Nation for a while. I don't even know. But people like that song, that's on his CD. Had this other song called Party with Lil Twist that people like. There's a song called Bottles Up, which is just talking about, of course, drinking or just being at a party. Cause honestly, I don't even go to parties no more.
Yeah.
So if you hear the song and just take it as, oh, he's just always at parties, I'm not going to lie. I'm not at parties all the time anymore. I think I kind of grew out of that. I'm not even that old. I'm just like, I just feel like I'm just past that. I've been to too many bad parties to feel like going to parties anymore. But the song's called Bottles Up. It's on the DVD for Boston right now. I didn't even know it was on the DVD until somebody called me like, oh, that song you did is on the DVD. And I was like, wow, thank you.
Really?
So I figured I'd put it on this mixtape since it's already being promoted without me knowing. So
Wow.
I figured I'd just jump on that and just throw that out there.
Right.
And I'm trying to get some other features. I got Grams, of course. I got, you know, the same people I usually work with. I don't really have too many new features because a lot of people can't keep up with me, or I don't know, people just don't like my music. If they don't, just like I said before, you can shove it too. So, I don't know.
Well, you do have you mentioned a lot of people can't keep up with you, and you do have a very strong work ethic. You know, you have that expression. You said actually during your show Hustle Report. You know, the host said hustle harder than most.
Yeah, the hustle harder than most, exactly. But the
And,
thing is, people don't, like, when I say that, people don't really understand why I say that. I don't say it because I feel like I hustle harder than most. I feel like I'm in the position to hustle harder than most in every way. I can, even though I've been through my problems in the past and been through my street problems, for everybody that might be listening is into hood stuff, as they call it. If they want to talk about, oh, I'm from the hood, so I can't do certain things, I'm from the struggle, so I can sit there and say I can go anywhere, any coast, any side, and do anything, and I've done it. So I can't sit there and say I hustle harder than most because connected people with other people that usually wouldn't connect, or made connections for people and not expected anything for myself. That's why I hustle harder than most.
Yeah.
So like, oh, I made $1,000 off of this last thing I just did. That's why I hustle harder than most. Half of the things I've done, I haven't made a dime and don't expect a dime.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like I know I need to make money, but at the same time, for the love of music and for the respect of the person that we're doing business with, if you earn my respect, you can get some free shit out of DZ. You really can. You can get me to do free stuff if you earn my respect. So don't think you're going to call me like, oh, DZ, do this, and I'm going to do it for free. It's just when you earn my respect and you're working like I'm working and we come to a point, I'm like, yo, I'm going to work for you. I don't mind.
Right.
I'll just help you out. I put my friend on the show the other day. It's at Tammany Hall on June 4th in Worcester. It's Tammany Hall. His name is Diogenes. Everybody check it out. If anybody, whoever's listening, if you live in Worcester, Tammany Hall, and his name's Diogenes. He's a good rapper and all that. I didn't ask for anything.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted me to do a show. I gave him the number so he can do a show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even trying to take credit for it. It's just the fact of that's love, not hate.
Right.
You know?
And that, that approach too. I mean, I've done a lot of that too, where you do favors for people and you try to help them out with certain projects, and there might not be any sort of monetary value that comes out of that, but you're building goodwill.
Exactly.
They might be in a position to help you at some point in the future, and it's just good karma to do that. But,
exactly.
Because
a lot of artists, I just heard today. I heard like one of the artists I work with. I used to work with a while ago. I haven't seen him in a while. He came by today, and I seen him, and I was like, "Oh, what's up? How you doing?" Blah blah blah. And he was like, "Oh, well, at Blase, he was asking about another artist that I do not work with anymore." He's like, "Well, when you burn your bridges, how are you going to get across?" I said, "If you burn your bridge with me, you can't get across my water."
Right.
So if you burn your bridge with me, there's no way you're going to get across my water. Because, I don't sit there and be like, oh, blah, blah. I don't expect anything from a lot of people. And there's a lot of people just trying to throw negative comments, negative darts, negativity at me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to I don't know. I'm totally trying to be on something different. I'm totally trying to be on something different. And people just don't understand that, I guess.
I know that.
I don't know.
I know that throughout my career, when I've run into people who are negative or who can't hold up their end of the bargain, in a business situation or whatever, I try to look at it as, that problem kind of resolves itself because, if you allow it to, because when you run into somebody like that, I always figure, okay, well, this person isn't going to get any further in the business anyway. Because no one else is going to put up with their bullshit.
Sure.
I always talk about people I've dealt with who aren't rock stars, but already think that they are, and they're already acting like it.
Wait a minute. I just talked to somebody who was just talking to about an artist, like a sign artist, a local sign artist. I don't like to throw out names, but there's a local sign artist that felt like since he was signed to a local deal and he's making a little money, he's a superstar.
Right.
But I'm like, we've done business before. We were friends prior to his deal, blah, blah, blah. And he's saying he's keeping it humble. But when we talk, like when I talk to his friends, he doesn't talk about me. He doesn't talk like we're friends anymore.
Right.
He talks like he never met me. And I'm like, you're so humble and you're just a good artist and your business is so straight. Even though I have a song on 88.9 right now, he doesn't have a song on 88.9.
Yeah.
He doesn't like I don't know. I don't think he wants to talk about being bigger, but he's really not bigger.
Right.
I don't feel like I'm bigger than him. I just feel like I'm just doing what I got to do.
Right.
That's how I look at music. Sure. I'm doing what I have to do and just releasing how I feel in my life and the things I've been through. And a lot of people are not doing that. So for all artists that might be listening, if you're not telling the truth, then what the hell are you doing music for?
Yeah.
Like, music's supposed to be the truth to some point, to some extent. Nobody wants to tell the truth. Or a lot of people tell the truth and then tell too much of the truth and get themselves in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you the truth, but I'm not going to tell you the truth enough to get myself in trouble. You got to watch out what you do for the young kids, because there's I know a young kid that wants to tell a lot of stories about some bad things he's done, and the things that he's done that might bounce back, I want to be a real rapper. I want to be the truth. I want to tell the truth. I don't want anybody to call me fake. But at the same time, if you're bad, like if you've done bad things, that doesn't mean you have to talk about your bad things. You can talk about something else. You can talk about giraffes. You can talk about the color orange. I don't give a flying whatever what you talk about, but you don't got to get yourself in trouble because the cops are listening. For those people that do not know, the cops are listening.
Now, do you feel that there are a lot of artists out there that are trying to get street credibility by rapping about stuff like that, the crimes they've committed?
I think that's what it is, and that's what I call like mine. I'm gonna do another CD for the people that might not listen. It's called No Indictment Music, because the people that is talking about too much reality is getting indicted for too much reality. Like Murder Inc. If people don't remember Murder Inc., remember Ja Rule and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And Irv Gotti and Ja Rule got indicted for talking about some things that they've done that still haven't reached the surface. So the cops caught on, and they got indicted for those things.
Oh, sure.
Indictment means when the cops call you, telling you to come into court for things that they think you're guilty of. So for people that don't know what indictment means, that's what that means. So if you want to keep your eyes out of, if you want to keep yourself out of the court's eyes, stop telling too much of the truth, or just stop lying. One or the other. I don't know. Figure out something where you're in the middle point. It won't get you in trouble. Stay out of trouble, people. That's all I want people to do.
Exactly. I remember when Irv Gotti got in trouble, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, look, he's just like his namesake, John Gotti." You know, because John Gotti was so flagrant about being in the mob,
being a gangster, and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
It got him caught up in a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And I don't know. I'm trying to keep myself out of the jail system any more that I've ever been in, or any more that I ever want to go through. I don't know. I'm trying my best just to keep my head high and just do what I got to do as a man. And that's my new reality.
Yeah.
I'm a man before anything. And if you can't respect me as a man, then that's a different consequence. But at the same time, I'm a man before anything.
Yeah.
Now, do you feel that those artists, though, do you feel that they're a negative influence on a lot of the youth today?
Huh?
The artists that are like the gangsters that are talking about all the crimes or lying about the crimes, like, do you think that that's a big, like, negative influence on the youth today that are up and coming in the art?
Well, in music, like, that's boring me right now. That's what it is. It's boring me.
Like a cliche?
I can't sit there and say I'm the most. I don't have bad friends that do bad things. I still have friends that do things, so it's not like, oh, I've never been through the stuff that they're talking about. It's the fact of we've heard that. It's just like boring. Like, I understand your struggle is the same, but you don't have to talk about, oh, I'm going to kill 80 people at once and stuff like that. And, like, that just gets, I don't know, it just kind of gets redundant when, like, your friend starts rapping like that. Then you come out like that. Then then there's like 18 people rapping the same way, and it's like boring.
Well, it doesn't show any individuality or creativity.
Yeah, like, who the hell are you if your friend just rapped the same line that you just rapped? Or if your friend just said the same damn thing, like, God. Like, I understand. Everybody could be a gangster. I get my grandmother to be a gangster. Like, we can find, like, my grandmother is a gangster, but I'm not going to sit there and indict my grandmother, you know?
That's a good
But,
policy.
like, exactly.
Now,
But,
when is your grandmother's album dropping, by the way?
actually, matter of fact, we might have my grandmother do some drops for IPM Nation.
There we go.
If I can get her to do it, trust me, I get my grandmother to do it.
Nice.
I don't care. My grandmother's a straight G. She will tell you something that y'all don't know. Like, listen, we were just talking about grandmothers. I don't know. I talk about different things. I talk about grandmothers. I talk about my past. I talk about, like, the feeling that music gives me, or the feeling that music put me in at that moment, you know?
Yeah.
I don't really talk about, oh, you know, back in 2007, I did a killing, and, I'll kill you today. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't sit there and say I don't talk about violence, because I do talk about violence.
That's part of
But at
life.
the same time, anything I say will not get me locked up.
Right.
Trust me.
Right.
Anything I say will not get me locked up.
Well, who are your influences? I mean, you know, we've talked about a lot about what you want to avoid, but I mean, who influences you, or who is currently out there that you really respect and admire?
Right now, out there right now, wow, now that's a hard thing. because there's no one out there right at this moment in time that's really just like, yo, D, listen to this person, they'll keep you going, blah, blah, blah. Because I need a person to have, the only person I can really rely on to come with something real at this point in time that's going to surprise a lot of people is Busta Rhymes. Because, Matt, you see me at shows, Dan, you see me at shows, you see how hyper I am.
Sure.
And Busta Rhymes is the same way, and Splitstar, they're just hyper and crazy and telling the truth about what, you know what I'm saying? They're just talking and keeping it real at the same instance. They're not being like all too unfriendly about it, you know?
Right.
They can still have fun with it. And that's what kind of music I want to be able to make. Like, that's what kind of music I want to make. I want to be able to tell the truth, at the same time have fun while telling the truth. I can tell you that I've sold drugs, and you don't have to sell drugs to make it, but I understand if you do because you're trying to make it, but let's party at the same time while I'm telling you the story. You know, or I understand that people have done bad things and stuff like that. I understand all those things, but it's still a party at the end of whatever you go through if you make it through your night, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's how I look at it.
And
it's kind of weird, but...
Now, do you have do you have anything else coming up on Massive Hustle that any other artists that you're working with, or are you focused on getting
directly right now? I'm working on a couple of people's projects, but I'm not working on anything directly straight out of Massive Hustle. Sure. I'm working with Sage One. I'm working with Cypher. I'm working with DJ TKO, of course, which I have to call him because he's supposed to do some stuff for my project that's coming out June 10th and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm just working with the normal people, and I'm just trying to help as many people that says, DZ, yo, I need your help to do something, or I want to work with you for something else. Other than that, there's, you know, I've just been sitting around, running around, trying to get money. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, that's about it.
And can you talk about your radio show for a second? How do you select the artists that you're going to play on that show? I've always been curious about that.
To be selected for my show, you have to see, the thing is you have to email me. And if you email me, I've got emails from other artists that just send me emails of like, play this song, and don't say like, hey, what's up, my name's blah, 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 and I'm from here, and blah, 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 let's do future music. They just send me songs and expect me to just play them in random, and I'm like, I've never talked to you before, you haven't even said hello, you expect me to play your music. That's like kind of disrespectful to an extent, because you're not saying hi. Like, I expect a hi from an artist at least.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't expect you to go, oh, please, please, please. I just expect a, hey, hello, my name's da-da-da, and I would like you to play this music, and if you can play this, and we'll keep doing music, I'll keep sending you music. And honestly, if you keep sending me music, I'll keep playing the music. But it's a respect factor. Just on that line of respect, you send me an email saying, what's up? And I'll send you an email right back saying, I got you covered, we're spinning it, this date, that's the third. My radio station situation is kind of down because my computer's down right now, so that's why I haven't been putting out radio shows.
Sure.
But when my computer gets back up, then I got you covered all day on radio shows.
Yeah,
I got 3 sitting in the computer. I can't get out of my computer because it's messed up right now.
Yeah.
So, you know how computers work.
Gives us something to look forward to, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I got more material too. I'm just dealing. Like, I'm pretty much done with the next 2 to 3 CDs I'm gonna come out with. I'm pretty much done. But people are really making me angry. They're just letting me down. So, but I always got a backup plan for those people. So
yeah. Cool.
DZ will never fail, even no matter what life throws at him. DZ can't fail.
Now, DZ, with you becoming an expectant father here, where she's due any minute now, right? Any day now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, do you feel that you've matured a lot because of the responsibility now that you are going to be a new daddy and this is your firstborn?
Well, I don't know if I matured a lot, but I've taken on the responsibility as a man and stepped up because I didn't have a father and no one took care of me. Yeah. So I don't want to be a deadbeat dad. I'm going to try my best, and do what I gotta do. I'm not gonna just leave a child in the streets. Like, I was left, so, you know, I guess I do have a lot more responsibility, and I do feel the pressure. So that's why it's grind, cuz grind. With money on your mind, keep $1 in your pocket, because that's what it's really about. You gotta keep $1 in your pocket, especially if you have children.
Oh, yeah.
So for everybody to have 1 child, 2 children, 4 children, I understand what you're going through, and I don't even have a kid yet. Like, I haven't spent $1 since I haven't spent $1 for like a whole month. I've been working and getting any money I can, and I just haven't spent no money. I'm just like a broke man just waiting.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't want my child to go through the things I had to go through.
Yeah.
Just like every other man, just, you know what I'm saying, that's been through something. Like, I don't want my kid to go through that. I'm in the same boat with y'all. So if anybody's had that problem with the kids or the baby mamas or whatever the situation they're going through, trust me, I'm in the boat, boy. I'm stroking down that long ass river. Trust me.
Now, is
I'm
that
just in there,
influencing?
you know.
Is that influencing any of your writing right now or anything like that?
Am I writing?
Yeah, like, I mean, with again being an expectant father, and I'm sure after the birth and everything, do you see that influencing any of your rhymes right now? Are you writing any material?
Right now, to be honest, being expectant father, influencing my music, I don't have influence in my music being a dad. I have influence that I need to make more money than I'm making, or I need to make way or get further away from the trouble that I've been in, or keeping myself out of trouble and making more money. I can't sit there and say it influenced my music, because a lot of my music is not it's influenced through stuff like that, but I don't express it. I don't know, because some of the things I try to keep personal, you know, I don't want to expose my whole self sometimes. You know, people don't deserve it. Right now, people don't deserve the whole DZ. So maybe like on the next mixtape, if you listen to this mixtape and then you want to hear the whole DZ, then I'll give you the whole DZ. And for everybody to listen to Go In, if you listen to Go In, thank you very much for the love. But this mixtape is different, and then the next mixtape is going to be different, and then the next mixtape is going to be different. You know how that works.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the child or anything that's going on has hurt me like with music. I'm in writer's block, to be honest.
Really?
I got all my songs done for this mixtape, and I'm just like in writer's block because I'm just in money mode right now.
Yeah.
I'm just in like I need money mode. So,
Well, you should just write about money. I mean, that's,
There you go.
yeah, that's why I wrote that last song. I'm just like I need money, and I want people to know that I need money and you need money and we need to get money, so we need to think of a new plan. Because the way that things are going down in neighborhoods or areas, it's not making money. And then I know that. It's not like circulating money. And we can make money even if we don't have legal jobs, because there's no jobs out here. We don't have to be negative. We don't have to sell drugs. We don't have to do the things we're doing, as long as we can figure out a positive way. And if it's going to be music, then we have to share that love. When somebody's out there on the street, like, yo, I need like $3 for this CD, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to make a living. I'm trying to do this, that, and the third. If you can't support them physically with the money, be like, okay, let me get your phone number. We can make some other plans, and we can do something else. Try to reach out in a different way, because, hey, the streets ain't getting any easier for anybody.
Sure.
For anybody.
now, how about touring?
That's
Are
for
you,
black,
have you
white,
any,
Asians, for anybody. I'm talking about anybody.
do you have any plans of any touring or anything coming up?
Do I have any plans for what?
To do like a tour or doing any live shows to make some money?
So I'm not exactly doing live shows at this point, because I'm trying to get the baby situation situated, so I'm just, just trying to get this baby situation situated. Hopefully everything goes good with that. I'm just trying to keep my head on my neck right now. Pretty much that's what I am. Like, I'm trying to keep my head on my neck. If that makes sense to the people that might be hearing me, they would understand, because I'm a mover. I'm like, shoom, shoom, shoom. My brain will just be over here, and my body will be somewhere else. So I'm just trying to keep it all together, just trying to, get piece by piece. I got a 1,000-piece puzzle I'm trying to put together, and I only got like 300 pieces right now. So, that's how my life's working right now.
All right. Well, DZ, listen, we'll let you go.
Okay.
Yeah, but thanks very much for joining us this week. It's been a great conversation. Did you have anything else you want?
No,
to
I just want to say that DZ is probably one of the nicest guys I've ever known, and just probably one of the. The industry that you do and everything. It's a rarity to see somebody as professional and as genuinely sweet and honest as you, and it's fantastic. And it's a pleasure to know you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you guys. It's always love when it comes to you guys. Anything you ever need from me, I'm a phone call away. If you don't have my number, it's 857-251-4798. It's for business anyway. So,
Sure.
Well, the world just got the numbers.
You need to get at yahoo.com if you need to get in touch with me for sending your music or anything else. Just holler. I'm on the hustle report, all that other. Get in touch with Matt. Get in touch with Dan. I'm around. You can find me one way or another.
Very good. Well, it's great to have you.
Yeah.
It's great to have you part of our family, DZ.
I'm always here for you guys. So if you ever need me, I'm a phone call away. And if you need somebody to get karate chop, I've been practicing my karate chop. I know you're only down the street, New Hampshire, so I'll come karate chop somebody.
And next time you're having a barbecue, think of us.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And give our best to G Girl.
This was a surprise to myself because I didn't buy none of the food. I just ended up cooking, and I was just here. So when I buy the food, you're invited. Definitely.
Right,
you're definitely invited. Everybody's invited. IPM Nation, Impact Player Music, I love all of you guys. Y'all have a good night, sweet dreams, all that stuff.
All right.
All positivity, show love, not hate. No more negativity this summer. So everybody keep their heads on their shoulders, stay positive, have a good night. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Dan. I'll let y'all get back to what y'all do. And I'm out of here, I guess.
All right, DZ. Thanks a lot, man.
Peace.
We'll talk to you soon.
No problem.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Well, that was a great conversation with DZ the Gift.
Which I was expecting from him. I knew. I knew he'd be good talking about everything.
And very funny.
Yeah.
He's got a good sense of humor too. So we'll wrap up the show in a minute. I want to wrap up with a track. He didn't get the other track to me in time that he wanted to debut tonight, but that's okay. I'm sure you'll hear it soon on IPMNation.com. So I decided to just pick what's my personal favorite from his body of work that I've heard so far. So we'll get to that in a minute. I do want to remind everybody. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you?
I was going to say, were you able to play the whole track of the one he was debuting tonight, or we only got about half of that when he called in?
We got most of it. It's actually a really short song. So what I'm going to do is, but it's already in rotation on IPMNation.com anyway. So we'll let that go for now. But yeah, it's a surprisingly short track anyway. But I do want to remind everybody to be back here Thursday night at 11 p.m. for Verbal Ejaculations.
The debut episode of Verbal Ejaculation.
Who came up with it? Oh, is it singular? Or
Yeah, it's singular. Verbal Ejaculation.
Okay, so there's only one verbal ejaculation.
Yes.
I understand.
Yes.
And who came up with the name?
Well, that was my idea.
Okay.
Because I find myself to be very creative in my names. So I came up with that name as a variation of the like the verbal diarrhea and all that type of, like how people have said that when they say too much too many times.
Sure.
Yeah. I basically I think the whole concept of the word verbal ejaculation to me is we're not going to filter it. We're basically it's a cum shot of statements basically.
Yes.
So everything is it's just basically just letting everything out. Mm-hmm. And having that euphoric feeling that you get when you do ejaculate. So.
Really, I always feel guilty afterwards.
Do you feel guilty?
I was raised Catholic.
That could be something we could talk about.
Feel bad
verbal
about
ejaculation.
all that wasted sperm. And I look forward to finally meeting your co-host, Chris Rose.
Yes.
Can we say his real name?
Well, he's going to use his real name
Okay,
on
good.
the show.
Well, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure.
We use his real name on Steve's show and we talk about him and
Well, we
random
usually refer to
musings.
him by his screen name, Paxton88.
But
you have used his real name. That's true. Well, very good. So please, everyone, be back here 11 p.m. Thursday night. Come down and see us. We'll have the doors open. We'll be on live at Styling Souls, 832 Elm Street in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. And, Thursday nights, the bar is usually pretty active, so hopefully we'll get some people coming in. And, also, too, Sunday nights, we do Stephen James Blake Countdown to Reality. Same deal. We'd love to get some people in. We are looking for a new female cast member for that show. Please, 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 we need some estrogen in the room. And I want to remind everybody, too, next week, Alan Samarjian, a singer-songwriter from New York City, will be our guest on Remote Transmission, June 1st. June 8th, we have Orion, Danny Dragon, and Steve the Drummer from Project Hybrid. And then June 15th, Michael Halpley Pierce from Chemical Distance will be with us.
Now, isn't Norm Show live tomorrow?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for reminding me, Dan. Please listen to tomorrow, Wednesday morning, from 10:30 to 12 noon. Actually listen and watch Norm and Friends. You can see that live here on IPMNation.com, and then Norm Unfiltered will be on at 1:15 p.m. So that's every Wednesday for both of those shows.
Wonderful.
Yes. So lots going on here on the IPMNation.com live channel. And be sure to listen to the podcast of my interview with Bob Guida on Remote Transmission. He is running for Congress here in the great state of New Hampshire. And we had a great hour-long discussion. It was great. I felt like Chris Matthews.
Did you?
Except without the yelling. I don't yell. So I love Chris Matthews. He's a hero of mine. So you probably don't because you're a Republican. A lot of Republicans don't like Chris Matthews.
I actually think he's hilarious.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Dan.
Yeah.
Dan, anything else?
No, Highly Illogical should be posting soon, I hope. The other show that will be, I want people to listen to.
I'm severely backlogged, but it will
I'm very happy with that show. And
Good,
I've still been waiting for Grave Robbers to be posted, but that's all right.
I know.
That's all right. You're a busy man.
But it will be up.
You're like DZ. You're very busy.
I get nothing done on time, but I do get it done
You
eventually.
do get it done eventually. So.
Absolutely.
But
cool. All right, so we're going to end the show tonight. Thanks, everybody, for being with us tonight, and we're going to end the show. This is my favorite DZ the Gift track and a recent addition to the playlist here at IPMNation.com. This is called Drop It, and we will see you next week.
They hustle. Massive hustle. They hustle harder than most.
When she bounce it, when she rolls, all that money, that flow, get it right on the boat. Baby, you can work that, take that ass, do it right, get that money all night, break them down, it's alright. Baby, please don't hurt that. Show them what you working with, show them how you twerk your shit. Mind blowing, damn. Baby, can you drop that? Heartbeat fast, she popping ass. You know what I said? Baby, damn, she got me locked in the days, all that in my face. Swarming in hurricane, baby, I like that. Don't stop, keep moving. Oh, that's how you do it. Move it, drop it, how you shake 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 it. Would she touch your toes? I don't know. What's it do? Working with a waist. So I need all the moves. That thing sitting right low for my eyes. If I stay focused, I might just go blind. Now I gotta stand back. Baby girl so stacked, just can't handle it. Somebody save me, her body going crazy. I should do that thing with a hip so amazing. Now I gotta get her, swing it so sister. Pop it like you got it, shake it like you want it, twerk it like you got it. Move it, drop it, how you shake 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 it. Bounce, roll, bounce, roll, bounce, roll. Work with me, mommy, now. Bounce, roll, bounce, roll, bounce, roll. Twerk for me, mommy, now. Bounce, roll, bounce, roll, bounce, roll. Work with me, mommy, now. Work, 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 work. Oh!
They hustle harder than most.
When she rolls, all that money, that flow.